Hi, welcome back to my podcast slash audio slash video diary. It has been a while. I have just invested a mic. I bought it off Amazon. It's a little cute mic, very vintage. Just gonna sit on the table while I talk to you guys to ensure that you guys can actually hear what I'm saying. Anyways, it has been a while. I would say that my life has had some crazy ships happening with many things. So I'm gonna start up with today. So today I went on a hike with my friends. We went to a lake called Lake Blanchard, something in Utah. It took us about 5 hours 5 hour ish to go both ways, and that includes a lot of stops for breaks because our big bags could not handle the fucking hike, and I bought a new pair of shoes. I thrifted a new pair of shoes. It was meant for hiking, so I bought it about 3 days ago. I tried it on at the store and it fit my feet perfectly. So I was like, great, I'm gonna use this as my hiking shoes because it has a very thick console, like on the bottom of the shoes, which is perfect for like rocky road on the hiking trails. And I bought it. I brought it. I wore it on the hike today, and I would say about like 10 or 15 minutes into the hike, girl, the shoes, like, do you know like how the new shoes have like the back ends of the shoe keeps scratching on your back ends of your feet? It hurts so damn bad. I think it blips a little bit, so I had to basically, this is my feet, right? I have to step on it, like on that little thingy over here of the shoe. I have to step on it and basically wore it like a flip flop throughout the fucking hike. Ship's crazy, and we made it some way. I did not trip and fall. We didn't really trip at all, to be honest. There was one time that we were trying to go down. I slipped a little bit, and I almost lost a shoe. Like a shoe on my right foot flew, and luckily the trail was very narrow. It was like very narrow, like it's on a cliff too. So I'm so glad that it didn't really drop out and we still made it back. Like literally on our way up and on our way back, so many people passed by us. I think we are like the slowest group on that hike because we saw someone literally pass us on the way up, and they started to head back, and we still making our way up. That is how slow we are. We always gap the road, gap the right of the hike. I don't know the term. Gap the right of the hike to whoever was passing, because we know that there is no way in hell we're gonna be able to keep up with the pace, and we do not want to slow them down at all. Anyways, made it back from the hike. Our feet fucking broken. We went to get some hot pot, delicious. I went back home. I took like an everything shower, and the water was literally muddy. It was dark. That is how dirty we are. My friend texted me. She said that we walked for about 23,000 steps today, and that is from the phone only. I feel like I'm gonna check it on my phone because that's what it says on her phone. I'm curious about what it says on my phone. Hold on. We gotta look at this together. Yeah. So it says I walked about 20. Oh shit, you guys cannot see it, but it says I walked about 24,000 ish steps today, and that is only from the phone. So like, yeah, I don't know. We literally get out of the house at like 9ish a.m. and by the time we got there it was a bit late. It was the time that people started to head back, so we assumed that people just started going on that hike for like at like 5 a.m. ish in the morning on a fucking Monday. So yeah, and it took us about 5-6 ish hours to get back home. So by the time we get back home it was like 5 p.m. ish. So that was on 9 to 5. So yeah, and yeah, alright. Oh, and So that kind of wraps up for the day. I low-key cancel a ditch. um, I hang out with my friend today. We've been meaning to get something together, so we plan to get some ice cream tonight together. But I'm like, my feet are fucking broken. I lost a few pieces of the skin on the back of the feet. I cannot walk. I just ate a fat ass lunch. I cannot consume or eat anything right now. We'll have to reschedule. I feel so fucking bad because I yeah, this is not the first time that I low key just kind of like asked her to reschedule our hangout. I feel so bad, but she's a very lovely person and we live pretty close to each other, and we're gonna see each other again very soon. So, yes, that is settled. One thing, so there's one thing I really want to talk to you guys about, and I find it pretty interesting. Not interesting, but I find it pretty fucked up. So on Saturday there was the No Kings protest, and there was one very near to my place. I was volunteering to work as like a gala auctions for like fucking rich people that would pay like some $1,000 to go on a trip to fucking Miami or something, and people were bidding over it. And yeah, so I volunteered to be at this art gala auctions slash, so I got to see all the very wealthy of people that would bid on arts. And during our time there at the auctions, it was also the time of the protests, which took place downtown as well, so not too far from where I'm at. So during the auctions, I got bored of the whole thing basically, and it was not like mandatory at all for us to stay back. So I low-key just kind of like ditch. So I said bye to my friends down at the auctions, and I went upstairs to say bye to one of my other friends, and I caught a news that there was a fucking shooter in the protests, and the building is basically locked out. Fucking scary. We have two people coming from the protest saying that they heard a gunshot literally 10 feet away behind from them, and everybody was literally running. It was chaotic. All hell breaks loose. Fucking chaotic, and I find it extremely unreal. And I think one person got shot, and that person unfortunately did not make it. The news had just come in today. That person unfortunately did not make it after the gunshot. But I find it absolutely fucking unreal that there's a fucking protest, a big ass one, nationwide one, going on literally outside of where we at, and in this building enclosed by fucking glasses and pieces of arts that are like rich people bidding off arts, drinking their ass off, eating and dancing to music. And it's so fucking unreal about the world that we are living in. It's been so scary. Like, even as me, my friends are literally, and like everybody, me and my friends could even make plans to go traveling, because even if you're like a citizen, like a US born citizens, there's still gonna be risks. And it is just so uncertain about this time of the years. I texted my mom and she freaked out. She said, oh my god, I thought, like our place was supposed to be like a safe state, but ships happened, and it was just sad. It was just so sad because it was peaceful. It was a peaceful protest up until that point. And yeah. So after about an hour-ish, I walked back home, made it safe back home. The shooter got apprehended and arrested almost immediately after the shot. And it was fucking crazy, yo. I don't know. I don't know. I thought a lot about that, like on the way walking back, about how that experience really putting really just like outlining the two many different words together. Because I heard from two protesters say that they literally got out of the shooter like area. They went to the downtown like mall area, and people were just having like a regular day shopping and eating ice creams, and nobody seems to fucking really care that much. And I don't know, it's giving dystopian in a very fucked up way. So I'm gonna put it out there, and I don't know. Anyways, I did get a new book in which I think is gonna be my new personality for the next couple of months. I'm not even sure if it's like a good book because it seems pretty dogmatic in the way it's written, but this is The Artist's Waves. It is by Julia Cameron. So I got this. Like, I know about this book through a podcast that I've been actively listening to lately. It's a podcast called Fashion Neurosis. It is by Bella Freud. She's a great granddaughter of Sigmund Freud, and so her style of like podcast is literally like a fashion icon, laying down on the sofa, and she would sit next to them and talking to them, very almost like psychoanalyze. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it's very similar to the way that Sigmund Freud would talk to his subjects, basically. And the podcast dives about all sorts of fashions, pop, like pop cultural movements throughout the histories. They mentioned they have big shops people there. My first episode was with her and Rick Owens. That was low-key my first time actually hearing Rick Owens talk as some person too, and learning about his wife and his brand and his history, and you really get like a sense of like almost like entering their very exclusive and very very fashion-y world, and to get to talk about parties, after parties, and about how they casually met fucking David Bowie, and just very unreal, I would say. And I love it. I love the podcast. I love that they are willing to kind of like let us into their worlds, because it is very very exclusive, the word. And we're hoping our best too, because I really want to break into their industries too. And yeah, so anyways, back to The Artist's Way. So I bought the book on Amazon, and it's also came with like a journal, like a journal notebook, because one of the things I heard, so the book is from a podcast with her and a DJ called Honey Dijon, and Honey Dijon actually mentioned the book, and one of the core things about the book is journaling. So says to journal every morning. It's not supposed to be poetic. It's not supposed to be aesthetic. It's not supposed to be like a piece of literature. It's supposed to be your form of purest thought, and you do it in the morning, because the whole reason about doing it in the morning is to set your intentions set for the day. And it's very important for artists. They market themselves as like a creative journey of like, I think it's like 12 weeks of almost like a creativity cleanse ritual moment, when you kind of follow the steps, and basically you're gonna be ending up with a very refreshed and just cleansed sense of creativity, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't started the book yet, so I've been talking bullshit here, but that is kind of the vibe I feel like from reading the intro of it. They have like a basic principles here. I'm gonna read like a few of them. So the first principle is creativity is the natural order of life. Life is energy, pure creative energy. And the refusal to be creative is self-will and is counter to our true nature. And our creative dreams and yearnings come from a divine source. As we move forward toward our dreams, we move toward our divinity. I'm sorry, I cannot really read out loud that well, but that is the point, I don't know. It actually seems like a, a pretty big book in the industry. I feel like this is like one of the core foundations of books, like for the creatives, like how Rich Dad Poor Dad is one of like the pillars of books for finance guys basically. And yeah, I'm very excited. Very excited. Do not really like the way how they kind of like embed God, capital G, um, in their rules, but they did say that they do not want everybody to like abide to God. So just say their way of it. I think like everybody has like a different like definition of like a higher forms or not at all. So yeah, that kind of leads me to another topic in which I've been kind of talking to some of my friends as well. So I have a friend who is pretty religious growing up, and he is still now, but he's very open to all sorts of ideas. And we had a discussion about just like us talking about religions, but in a very very agnostically atheist way, if I were to put it. So if you search up, there's like a chart of like different, there's like two arrows going up like this. So there's like agnostic and there's atheist, and there's a not agnostic and there's not atheist, and there's like four quadrants that you can allow yourself into. Do not remember the charts. I can look it up right now actually, but from what I remember, I really see myself align with the agnostically atheist quadrant, which means that I do not believe in God, any forms of God, but I could be convinced either ways. Yeah, so there's this chart. Oh, there's this chart of. So if you just look up agnostic atheist, it will show up in the images search. So I am the agnostic atheist. So it says lacks belief in a god or gods, but doesn't claim to know with 100% certainty. And I think that describes me pretty well. I always like talk to my friends that I do not really believe in like a set defined figure of a higher entity in which many people relate to as God, but I see it as more of like a force. So I use the term the universe a lot, and I like that idea a lot because you willingly give that power of control and power of like the order of life to an undefined form of power in which is unreachable from you, and that I think really gives me the sense of ease because it just set in a way like that. I don't know, because growing up, my father was Buddhist, my mother was atheist in her like early days, but right now she is, I think, Catholic or Christianity. I don't know which is. I might ask her to see if she aligns herself with any, but I feel like her answer would be that she finds peace by going to the church and praying to God, and that gives her peace. And my father also finds peace by praying to our ancestors and to the Buddhist gods, and just that it's gonna give the karma circle fair and alive. So growing up, I say I'm religiously easy. I'm religiously open. I'm very grateful to not have any constraints about like really following like a set rules of faith, because my family was not religious. I feel like most families in Vietnam are not too religious, especially in my region, because I know that in the north they are typically more religious. But I'm saying this for my neighborhood, it was not like strictly religious. And as a kid, I would go to like the Buddhist pagodas, temples with my dad, and I would talk to the monks, and I would, attend ceremonies. I would learn about different kinds of gods, but I also participate as well with the Christians. I think it's the Catholics ceremonies, including like Christmas. So I had friends growing up who are like Catholic, and the whole family is Catholic. Please not cancel me, but I'm not entirely sure if they are Catholic or Christians in my home, because as a kid and still now I feel like a complete idiot for not knowing the fucking difference. It's not on top of my head right now, but I would hang out with them as a kid, and they would invite me to go with the ceremonies, and I would see like god figures in their household, and I got very interested in the studies of that, because I feel like the point where my curiosity for religions really picked was when I was in ninth grade. So ninth grade was also my first year studying abroad, and we had this very amazing English teacher, and as a gay closeted kid, I really paid attention in his class during that time, and he talked about religion, and I remember vividly about the points that he made, that all religions are made either to suppress the people, to guide them to a better good, and to be used as an scapegoats, and that kind of stops the whole thing about like supernaturalities and just like having God, like a powerful hero, like mythology, and that leads directly to religions, is to have an scapegoat, and people needed that as a society to move forward, and I really fuck with that idea. I love it. He made us read through all the mythology books. I think I got the English award. No, I got the English award by the end of that year, and he gifted me a mythology book, which I still keep till now, and which is actually sitting on my bookcase right now, and it talks about all kinds of mythology and all kinds of symbolisms. My favorite was with the Chinese mythology, because I remember vividly I read that there was, so basically, I'm sorry, I fucking love this kind of like podcast, because not podcast, my fucking visual diary, because I get to talk about literally anything that I want to, and I'm gonna talk about the mythology of how the world got made, and the beginning mythology. I forgot the word, but the mythology about how is the world created, and I really fuck with the Chinese mythology, because they basically said like at the very beginning of the age there was no distinction between like the sky and the land. It was like basically one fucking big blob, and there's a god, and he split two realms, and that makes the sky and the ground, and he literally holds his body like this to keep the sky like apart from the ground, and he says like that, and his body kind of like morphs into the mountains, his blood becomes the ocean, I think his left eyes becomes the moon, and his right eyes becomes the sun. Basically he integrated himself into the world, and that's how it gets started. And also with Chinese mythology, it explains, there was like a story explaining about how people are born with like such like characteristics and differences. So basically there is a goddess. He was like a snake goddess, if I'm not mistaken, and she was basically building up the clay. She was molding the clay in which we are going to become people, and in a very early stage she was being very gentle, meticulous, very very picky, picky about the clay, so the human figurines would appear to be perfect, and that are the boogios, that are the rich, that are the wealthy people. And she got kind of like lazy, so she was doing almost like a very lousy job of making those figurines, and that explains why some people are born with certain disadvantage, bodily disadvantage or societal disadvantages. They are poor, they are not really well educated, and that just like kind of explains the, I would say, the spectrum of the people in China. And I think that's pretty cool. I mean, it kind of makes sense too. I don't know. Please do not cancel me, but I think that is a very cool mythology. And also, I think that one of the other mythology that I think is really interesting is the India's mythology. So there was, I believe it was like two deities, a deity of destroy and a deity of revival. So it's like a circle. So like of life, I think. So it's like a circle. So the deity of life, there's like a whole thing in it. I forgot them, but basically it goes like the deity of life comes in. They seeded the seeds of life, and things sprouted, and people come away, and things become corrupted, and that is when the deity of like death, the end, kind of comes in and destroys everything, and the deity of life kind of like start again with that whole cycle. And there were actually a lot more details in it. Like there's like some specific, like divine entities that help to do these specific things, and I really fuck with it. I really enjoy reading it, and yeah. So sorry, accident. I turned the mic away and turned the music up, but should be back now. Anyways, yeah, very interesting. So I would like to dedicate the last few minutes to talk about my plans for the future. So very sad news. I got fucking rejected again for an internship about for my major. So it was like a wealth management internship position, and I got fucking rejected for that again. I feel like, so my friends, we kind of talked about this. So I talked to my friends that I've always like manifested that I would have my dream life. I would do the things that I'm happy. I will be highly paid, in which I'm gonna be using that to really like up high my life values and my stuffs. Basically, like be fucking happy and doing what the things that I am enjoying. Sorry, the English got a little bit crumble after the hike. Basically, I've been manifesting my dream life so hard for the last couple of years, and I always say dream life without really like specifying which dream life it is. And I feel like the mother universe, she is trying to guide me towards that dream life, in which I fucking know that it's not gonna be any roles related to my major, which is business economics / data / literally business intelligence ships. I don't know. Basically, it would never be the roles of like a corporate setting jobs, because I've always detested working a life of 9 to 5 ever since I was a kid. And I feel like it's gonna give me the joy of stability. It's gonna give me the joy of having almost like something to follow after, like school. Like you wake up and you basically know what you're doing, and you basically know where you're gonna be at. You have a very set things for you to do, and there is no way in hell that I will enjoy doing that. So, and basically that is not my dream life, and I've been manifesting to avoid that. And this might be a fucking excuse, but I think that those are like the reasons. Because recalling back to the interviews, I fucking portray, when I ask you the questions, what do you want to do in the future, like where do you see yourself in 5 years, like as like like a fully potential candidate would say, I would love to work in your company, I would love to work in your role, because they would love to see that you commit to their companies. But guess what? For every fucking interview out there, I literally fucking said I want to work for fashion and I want to do fashion photography, and basically just showing that, oh, this is gonna be like a day job. I will not commit to your company at all. And I fucking said that to every fucking interview, and I know it's bad. But I talked to a girl, she's in Harvard now, but she was almost like my big sister back in the days when she was still in school. And I talked to her about, how do you keep yourself, like how do you present yourself to people around you? And she says, you keep it fucking real. And I'm like, fuck yeah, I'm gonna do that. And I did that for my interviews, and I think that is why I'm not really getting much hopes into this whole thing. And because in my mind, in my conscience, I always reject that. And I don't know why I keep beating myself up that, okay, I'm gonna have to do that, I'm gonna need to get that job, I'm gonna need to get into that company, but ultimately knowing that these are not meant for me, and I fucking hate it. And at the same time, so many like opportunities come down my way, like photography wise. I'm extremely grateful. I have a chance to work with a few local brands, shooting at like a drag showcase, and I met some pretty big people like while working there, and I find joy doing it. The money is not much, and it's not stable too, but I feel like this is like almost like the path of rituals for every creative. You're gonna have to put yourself out there for a little bit. And I talked to my friends about it, and she said, she mentioned that one of the very famous makeup artists right now also start off by offering their services, kind of being like just a pawn in the background, and he literally said he used to be treated like trash. So I think his name was like Herb Van Gogh, a Vietnamese makeup artist. He was not the shit. People would treat him like trash. They would throw him away, throw him around, and until Selena Gomez Loki notices him, and there comes Katy Perry afterward, and he sort of like become this makeup artist guru for many celebrities, and his fucking career takes off. But he has to really endure the time of uncertainty and almost putting yourself out there, to not really like having people not really appreciate what you do and get misunderstood. But it is the whole fucking point of the journey, because right now I'm fucking lost about what I'm going to do for photography. I got into so many fucking projects. I want to have my own fucking magazine line. I want to work for a magazine as a photojournalist. I want to do live events, but I also want to do art events, and it's confusing me, and I think I'm fucking thrilled by that, because that means I am putting myself out there. I'm allocating where I am stuck at in this journey, and I really want to get it down. Maybe I'm good at doing that. Maybe I'm good at fucking setting up. I literally have like a white frame in my house, in my living room, literally in front of me, in which I can make art every fucking single day, in which I am going to do. I just fucking order my tripod that comes with this microphone, so I'm very excited to finally have my portraiture project going on. And if you're new here, I would love for you to check out my photography works through the link in my bio, or if you look up my social media, you're gonna see my portfolio. And if you live in the area, I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, fucking hit me up to collaborate, because I want to make art. I want to fucking experiment because I fear that this might be my last summer of unemployment until I have to completely get locked in, because I will be graduating next spring, and that fucking scares me. There is this weight of the potentials in which I know I'm going to do well, because why not? I want to give it a chance, a fair chance, that like how I give my others lives, I want to give this a fucking fair chance, and you guys are going to stick with me. Like, trust, I'm gonna get so fucking famous. People are gonna notice me, and my work is gonna get out there fucking Guggenheim, fucking mad. And I'm going to be the shit in the photography world, or whatever that I decide doing to pursue, because we are literally fucking blank canvases of awesomeness, and I'm fucking ready to really pump that up. I want to give this life a fair chance, a big chance, just like how I give my other lives a chance. Pursuing something I do not like, I'm not even sure that I'm good at, but I know that I'm good at this, and I'm gonna fucking enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it, and I don't know, might end up being fucking broke, but I would like to not have any regrets not doing it right now, because I have the chance. My family is open to me doing it, and I'm very grateful to have a loving family with loving parents, and they support me not mentally but financially. They provide for me things, and yeah, I think that it's gonna be a fucking juicy episode if I get into talking about my parents, because I feel like going study abroad since such a young age, and especially since you have almost been isolating from your family, from literally everybody around you in your hometown, really fucks you up, and it makes me the person that I am today. I'm grateful, but the journey was spiky, the journey was almost self-excruciating, and I really want to share that to the beautiful souls out there watching this. So yeah, we're gonna maybe get to that on some days when I restock my wines in the food pantry and bought a fancy glass, because I fucking broke a very fancy glass I just bought months ago. Very sad. Yeah, I've been breaking so many glasses lately. Fucking idiot. Anyway, it's 38 minutes. Thank you so much for bearing with me with this very fucking chaotic episode of, I don't even know what to call it, but if you still stick around, I fucking love you, and I don't know what you are, I don't know who you are, I don't know what you're doing, but follow your fucking dreams, and we're gonna make it. We are gonna fucking make it. We are gonna make it. Say it to me. We are gonna make it. You and me both. We are going to be the shit in whatever we're doing. Anyways, I'm gonna do my dishes. Maybe come clean up the house a little bit. Do my laundry and fucking hit the sack. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and journal, and it's gonna be another fucking awesome day. Alright, bye angels. Have a lovely life. Go down there and slay dreams. You got it, big shit. Bye.